Hello Saxo fans, episode 7, it's going to be a busy one this one, so we're going to just get straight into it. Number 1, the weld has arrived, Mighty MIG 100 flux core welder, that's what I've gone for. Not as good as your typical gas setups, it can be a bit messier, perhaps not as flexible as what you can do, maybe less control, but for the amount of welding that I've got on the car that I'm going to need to do, it's entirely suitable and appropriate. So it's going to be tricky to make it, tidy and hopefully not blow through, massive holes in really thin bodywork. But we'll see how it goes. My steel has arrived to make up the patches that I need. So I've already knocked up templates. They're good to go. I'll get them cut out later. So you'll see me hopefully attack the welding. Obviously, I'm going to have a bit of a practice before I smash it on the car, but it should be okay. Number 2, that's going to be, just dig it out. Been banging on about Underseal for a little while now. I've gone for Raptor bed liner. Now this stuff is quite well known, I think, and it's a terrific product. It really is good. It's a great stone chip. It's weather resistant, corrosion resistant. It goes really hard. So for underneath, it's just absolutely perfect. I have to mix it myself, so it comes with a hardener, and it also comes with the colour of my choice, being tintable. You can just buy a black off the shelf, but I thought with all the hard work that I've done underneath, and when the axle comes back, you'll see what that looks like, and all the sort of zinc-plated bolts and everything, it just seemed a shame to just smash it with black underneath. So I've gone for, if you can read this, basalt grey. It's kind of like a battleship grey, maybe a similar sort of grey to my hat actually. I'll flash a picture up of it with some other cars that have had it on. Some people in America put this on the outside. It looks a bit naff if you ask me on the outside, but for underneath, it's going to be absolutely spot on. So I've got all the paraphernalia I need for that, mixing jugs and what do you call them? I forgot the name of the gun now. Schutz gun, got all that stuff. So I'm good to go on that. Obviously, I can't do that until I've done the welding, which has been my restriction on the welding. So the last thing I'm going to be going through is these rear 3/4 panels. If you know a Saxo, you'll know where these go. This is lower rear 3/4, door is about here, and this is the rear arch. Now, I've been staring at these a reasonable amount due to the being in the arches, cutting out the rust and all that kind of stuff. I've noticed that they haven't really been sitting on the car very well. The gaps are in there, they're not great, it's just as if someone's forgot the clips or something. They come with these little, they're like a one-time use clip. Once you put them in, they generally don't like coming out, and when you do take them out, they snap. So they're only cheap. You can get like a pack of 20 or something, about £3 on eBay. So I thought maybe it's just a case of some of those are missing. However, little did I know, this is what I would find. So you can see, this is expanding foam, and this is black silicon sealant in front of it. It's done a great job actually of stopping mud and rubbish getting up into the arch, but it's got nowhere else to go, so you might as well let it go. So I've got to get all that out, and obviously it's the same on the car, it's horrendous. So I've got to get all that off and tidy it back up and put a load of new original clips on, tidy the brackets up because they're a bit rusty. So I've got that to do as well. So plenty to be getting on with. Hopefully I'll cover it all in this video. We'll see how it goes. But the first thing I'm going to do is those rear 3/4 panels and get that prepped. The other thing that I will do is I've noticed there is a little bit of surface rust on them. So on the steel behind the bodywork, I mean. So I'm actually going to use the stuff that I bought originally, which I decided not to use. But I'm going to use this behind those panels as a preventative layer. It doesn't go as hard and as like a stone chip as the Raptor does, but I didn't want to waste it. And it's a good product. It'll be absolutely perfect for somewhere that's completely hidden, out of sight. So I'll make good use of the Tetra, which is good. So over to the rear arches. All right, so this is the rear right arch, and you can see the state of it. Look at all the silicon that's in here, and the brackets have still got some of that expanding foam behind it. So I'll clean all this up so it's all tidy. I've already done one side, so I'll show you that quick. So you can see what I've done is cleared off all the rubbish, and I've just taken any patches back that were a bit just showing like little bit of sign of surface rust. So that's looking pretty good. This edge is appalling. Whoever cut that, yeah, I mean, it's just shocking, unbelievable. But so I've smoothed all off any sharp edges. It's obviously well up into the arch. It shouldn't be an issue, but so my plan is to hit anywhere below this green line with the black underseal, so you won't see any of this. And the green is effectively where the piece of bodywork starts, so you won't see any of that. So we'll do that. Right, so here we are then at the passenger side, rear left lower quarter. This whole panel here sits behind the plastic trim. So there was a few places here where, you know, just the paint was coming away and the rust was just starting to come through, and obviously where somebody's cut the arch before was a particularly poor job. So I've edge primed that. I've keyed this in, and I've scraped off any of the old plastic sealant and the expanding foam that you saw. So now I'm going to hit it with the shuts. So let's have a go. Okay, so a fairly liberal coating on there of that. Like I say, it doesn't look the greatest, but you really won't see it. In fact, I've just missed a patch. There we go. So yeah, you won't see this at all. It's completely hidden by the trim. But the most important thing is it is protected, and it's way better than what was there before. It looked horrendous with all of the sort of the bits of rubbish. So I'll finish off up here, and then we'll call it a day. Just noticed a bit of masking tape that's come off away from here, so I'll patch that up before I carry on. So, left it overnight to dry. Let's peel off all this and see what it looks like. There you go, pretty happy with that. It's dry, really firm now, looks good, no blemishes, good coverage. I'll take off all of the little pieces on the inside. So yeah, pleased with that, I think that looks good. Now protected for the future. Onto the other side. Just before we move on, just wanted to show you when this panel goes back on. Like that. You obviously can't see any of the underseal behind there at all. So I'm really pleased with how that's come out. Right, so got the plastic trim here all cleaned up, so all that stuff that was in around the inside of the arch has now gone. I just need to order the the plastic clips, and clean up the metal brackets for reattaching. So I'll leave those to one side for now because I need to order those, but that can be done at any time. Next, I am going to turn these templates into metal and then get them welded on the car. So let's go and have a look at that. Right, so I made up all the templates. So let's get them welded in. Here they are. So first one is here. Let's go for it. There we go, all done in coat of primer before the underseal. So there was a patch here, a patch here, and a patch in the corner. Welds aren't perfect, but most importantly they're secure. So that side's ready for underseal. Let's do the other one. Okay, I'm going to call it a day there for this video. I think a busy week. It's been a bit limited due to the weather. The wind has been playing absolute havoc with the murder tent. I've had to put some sand ballast on it to keep it actually strapped down. It is bolted down, but even the wind pulled them straight out. So I've improved that situation a little bit and put some sand on there. So hopefully, if we have wind again in the future, it should be windproof. I was worried one night that it might end up down the street. So that's fixed. Next time, underseal. I promise you, it's going on. Everything's ready. I can't do any more now without putting underseal on. So that is going to be the first thing that I do in the next video. Sorry I didn't do it in this one. Yeah, just timed out. But we did some interesting stuff anyway. My axle's coming back from Steph as well. Had an email from Steph the other day. It should be here with me next week, which is just in time because I can't put that on without the underseal anyway. So once the axle's back, then the fuel tank can go back in. We can put the brakes on. So it's a bit of a goer. So I'm going to work really hard this week to get the underseal done. And I'm trying to keep these on a weekly cadence. So hopefully you sort of see some interesting stuff and don't lose too much interest if you haven't already. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always. And we'll see you again next time.